how to write the equation of a circle. It's so easy, especially since it seems as though this equation is so hateful. But all we're going to do is just break down the parts. H and K are just the center of the circle. X and Y, that coordinate point, is a point that is on the circle. And R, as you can imagine, stands for radius. Just so you know, a circle with the equation x squared plus y squared equals 1 is called a unit circle. We're not going to concern ourselves that much, but it does show up here and there, and I want you to know what it is. It has a radius of 1, and since there are no numbers in with the x and the y, it has a center at 0, 0. So we're just going to try a basic one of these, and you should try and finish up all the others. We're going to identify the center and the radius of each circle. But instead of starting with section 1, I think it's actually easier if we start with section 2. If we write an equation for each circle, we're going to start with B. The center is at 4, negative 4. We're going to plug in everyone we know into the equation. X minus 4 squared plus y minus negative 4 squared equals 13 squared. Now if you take a look at these numbers, the 4 and the 4 there, and then look at the center, you can remember it is the opposite of what you want to say. If you want to say the center is negative 4, 4, remember it is the opposite of that because of the subtraction sign. So we're going to scoot up to section 1, and we're going to now look at this. If this is our center, we're going to be taking a 2, and the reason we have a plus 5 is because this was minus a negative 5 once upon a time. So the center is at 2, negative 5. To get the radius, you just square root that r squared, and the radius is 10. So finish up B and C on section 1, and A and C on section 2, and see how you do with those. Bring those questions to class. We're going to move on to write an equation for each circle. When you're given the picture, all you have to do is find two things. Where is the center, and what is the radius? So in this first circle, if you look, the center is at the origin. It's at 0, 0. And its radius, all you do is go out directly in a horizontal or vertical line and count. And this will have a radius of 10. So now it's easy to write it. X minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 10 squared. And there you are. So again, hit pause, try the other two, and see how well you do. And now for section 4. It's just the reverse of what you did. You're now going to draw the circle. It's best to use a compass, but if you don't, this hint is ultra important. If you do not want to draw a silly looking circle, you will draw such an exaggerated curve for each quarter so that the circle actually looks appropriate. So we're going to, I'm going to use a thicker line. We're going to pluck out the center, which is at 2, negative 3. The radius is 7. So we're going to go to 2, negative 3. Put a good dot there. And now you're going to go out in the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. I'm going to go 7 spots this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 backwards, 7 down, and 7 up. And now, if you don't have a compass, just do your best to make this as big of a curve as you can. It'll seem like you're going straight down, but it will make it look a little bit better. Otherwise, you end up with sort of looks like a diamond. And there we are. So you'll try the other ones as well. But we do want to check one thing here. If you were doing something like number 5, it says the circle has this equation, and the point negative 1, negative 1. How can you tell if it's on the circle without actually graphing it? Well, think back to how could you tell if a point was on a line without graphing it. So let's pretend that we had the point 12, 0 instead. If we plugged that in, you just plug this in for x and this in for y and see if it matches, if it's on the actual circle's edge. So we'd get 12 minus 1 squared plus 0. Ooh, let's use, we'll use 0. 0 plus 1 squared equals 121. Here we're going to get 11 squared is 121 plus 1 squared is 1. So we get 122. 122 does not equal 121, and so clearly it is not on the circle. So you want to try this out and see, is the point -1, -1 on the circle? And we'll save number 6 for you. You try it on your own. But first, before you do anything, just write the equation of the circle as you know it and decide what is missing. Once you know what's missing, you can figure out, is there any extra information that's going to help you to solve for that. Good luck, and I'll see you in class.